Hi, my name is Ethan Hunter. Welcome back to the first out of many videos, where in today's video we'll be looking at the entirety of the AFC West. We're going to see who is the clear dominant team, who is the surprise, who is going to surprise everyone, who's going to be the Detroit Pistons, who went from the worst record to making the NBA playoffs and having a great run there. Even though they didn't make the NBA Finals, they have showed a lot of promise. So who is going to be the underdog? Who is going to go from dynasty favorite, never going to end, to the worst? Who is going to carry fourth place or third place in their division? With that being said, let's get right into it. And I think there's going to be a team that is going to surprise everyone. But before we get into that, if you enjoy this type of content, please make sure you subscribe as we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Let's get into it. Now, the first team we are going to take a look at, of course, will be Patrick Mahomes, the dominant player for the AFC West for a very long time. Now, I have the Kansas City Chiefs probably finishing third or fourth. There's not much we know about the Las Vegas Raiders. They have a lot of talented players. Yes. They have Fernando Mendoza. They have Ashton Genty. They have Max Crosby. But we haven't seen Fernando Mendoza play his first NFL game, which is why I'm a little bit skeptical about them. I'd say probably they'd finish third in his first season. I really don't see the Las Vegas Raiders taking second or first, especially with the Denver Broncos and the Chargers, but we're here to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes overall in 2025, even with the wide receivers dropping 90% of his passes, probably a joke, they did not drop all those, but 3,587 yards, 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not the best year for Patrick Mahomes, but you do have to remember he also did get injured as well. Now, when we look, in week number 1, you open up against the LA Chargers. That's going to happen because you play a division opponent to kind of get the the division set up. 24 completions at 39 attempts, but you still lost 27-21. I'm going to call that a close game. A touchdown is a close game. Philadelphia Eagles, they have one of the best teams in the NFL. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, who could stop that? I mean, you lost by 3 points to that team? That's overall not that bad. You go to the Giants, a young, inexperienced team. You beat them. You show them who's the boss, 22-9. You beat the Baltimore Ravens very dominantly. You beat them by 17, 37-20. You go to Jacksonville. You lose to the Jaguars. Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence. Understandable. You beat the Lions. Anytime you beat another NFC North team that's not the Green Bay Packers, you are my biggest fan. Because, again, division rival, and I do not like anyone else in the NFC North. You beat the Raiders. Oh my goodness me. This should have been called off at halftime because this game was a murder. 31-0. Like the Raiders decided, we're not going to show up. They're not going to beat us that bad. But they did. You beat the Washington Commanders. So overall, you're starting out your season pretty good. But you lose to the Buffalo Bills. You lose to the Broncos. You barely get a win against the Colts. And then you just finish the season off with 3 losses in a row. 31-28 to the Cowgirls, to the Texans, and to the Chargers. It doesn't help that you lost to a division opponent again, and it doesn't help that your wide receivers had butterfingers for hands, because at this point, if your wide receivers can't catch the ball, you can't put all the blame on your wide receivers. Your defense has to take some of the blame. The quarterback has to take some of the blame. The coach has to take some of the blame. And yes, you can put a lot of that on injuries. But with this division getting better and better, getting more young players, there is going to be a point of time, which I think is going to be this year or next year, where it's going to be over for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Chiefs fans, you have to realize that Travis Kelce is going to retire soon. You're not going to have the best tight end in the NFL. Now that's Tucker Kraft because as a Packers fan, he was balling out till he got injured. But Travis Kelce has done a lot of great things, and I think this is going to be his last hoorah with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't think it's going to lead to much, especially if your wide receivers can't catch the ball, if Patrick Mahomes' injury is going to affect him, which it most likely will, because once a player gets injured, they don't come back the same. Yes, you get those rare occasions that they come back better than their previous self, but that is very, very rare. So, Kansas City Chiefs have been finishing 4th or 3rd. Sure, you can make a run, but that's based off your schedule and if the injuries do not affect Patrick Mahomes all that much. Now, the next team we're going to look at will be Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. Now, the Los Angeles Chargers, I did not have them winning 11 games, but they managed to prove me wrong. Let's take a look at Justin Herbert's stats. 3,727 yards, 66.4 completion, 26 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He had a great season with the Chargers, finishing 2nd in by far one of the most competitive divisions in the entire NFL. Now, yes, I still think the NFC North is by far still a very competitive division, but we are going to have to look out because the Las Vegas Raiders aren't going to be bad, the Chiefs aren't going to be bad, the Chargers aren't going to be bad, and the Broncos are not going to be bad. Every single one of these teams are going to play lights out football, but let's take a look at what they were able to accomplish in 2025. You beat the Chiefs in week 1. You beat the Raiders by 11. You beat the Broncos. They were the number 1 team in this division for a reason. We'll get into that later. You lose to the Giants. You lose to the Commanders. Going into Miami, probably low self-esteem. You're like, okay, you lost momentum because you beat the Chiefs, you beat the Broncos, but then you lose to the Giants and the Commanders. But going into Miami, you get some of that momentum back. You're like, okay, we're feeling pretty good. But then you get absolutely demolished by the Indianapolis Colts by 14. Now you really need to get your momentum back. You took 3 losses, but you're 4-3, still a winning record. Now you get your momentum back. You beat the Vikings. As a Packers fan again, love to see that. You beat the Titans. You beat the Steelers. But you get embarrassed by Trevor Lawrence. It seems like that is a trend in this division. You lose 35-6. Probably 2 field goals. But you beat the Raiders. You beat the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowgirls. You beat 2 of the most dominant teams in the NFL for a very, very long time. And the Eagles, we'll get to that in a separate video, are going to be dominant in their division as well. But you lose to the Houston Texans going into the playoffs. No momentum. And then you lose to the New England Patriots, who went on to play the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks were able to get their revenge. Now, when we look at the LA Chargers as a team, they are still a very solid team. Even though you lost to the Patriots, who a lot of people say have a cupcake schedule. I don't think they had a cupcake schedule. I think they deserve to be in the Super Bowl with that team they had, and they're only adding more and more weapons. They're going to be a dominant team. Drake May is only going to get better. He's going to be the next Tom Brady. Might be early, but he's going to be the next Tom Brady in New England. So get ready, because the Patriots dynasty is back. And I Overall, not too excited, but I do like Drake May. Now, one team I have been excited watching because around Bo Nix, this is a very, very young team, and they're going to be dominant for a very long time. Now, I don't think I finished it. I do need to say the Chargers, I think, are going to finish second in the division. So, as of right now, I have the Chiefs finishing fourth, I have the Raiders finishing third, I have the Chargers between second and third, as the Raiders are too young of a team. Haven't seen Fernando Mendoza play in the NFL yet. Yes, he's done mini camp, he's done all that stuff, but he hasn't played. So I'm not sure how well they're going to do in his first season. They might do well, they might finish second, but I think first place is going to be secured for a very, very long time by the Denver Broncos. And here's why: 3,931 yards, almost 4,000 yards, 63.5% completion rating. This is going to sound like I am by far the biggest Denver Broncos and Bo Nix Glazer in the world, but I am not. I still think Jordan Love is one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the league. And yes, you can say, oh, you have no ball knowledge, but that's just me being biased because I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. But let's get right back into it. 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 25 touchdowns, pretty solid numbers from Bo Nix. But look, rushing as well, 356 yards and 5 touchdowns rushing. This man can do it all. Rushing and passing, he can scramble with those legs, he can pass with the arm strength to get it down the field. Man, this might be Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson based off how he's moving. He is questionable with an injury, so I might take that down to move about second and first. Chargers could be first, Raiders could be first, Chiefs could be a dark horse, could be an underdog. They could do something as well. But let's see what the Broncos did last season. You go over to the Tennessee Titans and you beat them week number 1, 20-12. You do lose 2 games in a row to the Colts, and then you lose to the Chargers. We all know they finished 14-3, so they overall finish it out with a winning record. They have one loss down here somewhere. You put BTA to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I don't like the Bengals, and that's always a good sign when you crush the Bengals' hopes and dreams. 28-3. You beat the Philadelphia Eagles pretty easily. Actually, not pretty easily. 21-17. Hard-fought win. You beat the Jets 13-11. Probably should not have been that close against that team. You beat the Giants 33-32, another close game. Defense really helped you there. But you go to Dallas, Bo Nix was like, enough close games. We're just going to put BTA to the Cowgirls 44-24. You beat the Texans 18-15, close game. Texans have one of, if not the best defenses in the NFL. You beat the Raiders, very, very close game. Probably shouldn't have been because that team is awful. The Raiders are going to be very, very good next year based off how Fernando Mendoza plays and if Ashton Jeanty can have a better season because he needs an offensive line. A running back is only as good as their offensive line. Ashton Jeanty can break tackles on the defense. He can make that look easy. I've seen that when he played for the Boise State Broncos. You play the Chiefs, you beat them in a close game. Their defense, still top 10 defenses. Beat the Commanders in overtime by a point. Beat the Raiders, so you finish out against the Raiders with a winning record. 24-17 by a touchdown. And then, not too happy about this. I'm not too happy about this. What are we doing, Denver? Like, what are we doing? You put BTA to the Packers? Like, what are you doing? Come on now. Just let the Packers win. Actually, just kidding. Don't let us win. Because we played all right, but not our best. You go to Jacksonville, that's where you get your third loss, 34-20. Trevor Lawrence seems to own the entire division of the AFC West because he is putting BTA to every single one of y'all's teams. Then you beat the Chiefs and you beat the Chargers to enter the playoffs. You go to Buffalo. That doesn't go you well. That you do take a win. So, for the most part, the Denver Broncos, they've done pretty darn well with the team. It has been looking absolutely amazing for the Denver Broncos. And I'm sorry to any Chiefs fan out there, but you're going to enjoy watching Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, or Fernando Mendoza run this division. It's time to take a seat and watch the young stars play, the young stars control this division. I'm excited to see the AFC West in action because this division is going to be great for a long time. Again, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But before you go, one last thing. My ranking. I have Broncos first. I have Chargers second. I have Raiders third. And the Chiefs fourth. My big underdog would be the Las Vegas Raiders. My dark horse would be the Kansas City Chiefs. My dominant team would be the Denver Broncos. And the safe wildcard team would be the Chargers. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree with me. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.